Now, did the human eye advance with the human body? Because when Homo sapiens first came on the scene, hunched and hairy, when we began to get more advanced, did our eyes advance as well?
Are you saying that I'm more advanced because I'm less hairy than you? I'm just kidding.
Oh, no,
That's
no,
a balding
no.
joke. Anyway, well, one thing I can say is that humans have, the group Anthropoidia, monkeys, apes, and humans, has got very high acuity as a group. Within that group, humans have got the highest recorded acuity for any anthropoid. So at a minimum, there's at least been selection pressure to maintain very high acuity in human evolution. That being said, there's at least one really interesting feature of human eyes that is also very unusual compared to other anthropoids, compared to most mammals in general, and that's the fact that we have a large white visible around our eye. If you look at chimpanzees and gorillas and bonobos, our closest living relatives, there's a layer of tissue over the white of the eye, it's called the sclera, that's pigmented in that group. And it makes it, what it appears to be doing is it appears to be camouflaging gaze direction. And so among anthropoids, because they're so visually oriented, you know, all it takes is a look to threaten somebody. I mean, if you're on the bus and somebody's doing this, staring at you, I mean, it doesn't take much to threaten. And so one thing a lot of other primates appear to do is they appear to camouflage the whites of their eyes so that you can't follow their gaze and see whether they're looking over here, even if their face is pointing in this direction. Humans are unusual in having so much of the whites of our eyes visible.
You can tell.
Yeah, and that appears to be an important part of our social communication. So, you know, if you look at a mandrill, a male mandrill's got a bright nose, and lots of monkeys have got colored patterns on their faces. Some old world monkeys have got colored patches or spots on their eyelids so that when they threaten each other, they'll blink at you and flash that color, the bright spot. Humans don't have any of that, but what most people overlook is that humans do have this really visible white to their eye, so that across the room you can see who's looking at you, and you can say, hey, come over here. You know, you can communicate a lot with your eyes.
It's very interesting because things that we might find kind of funny, like blinking to be aggressive,
Yeah.
is actually in the animal kingdom considered very mean. So it's
Yeah,
I
yeah.
find those very funny.
Yeah, if you go to the zoo, there are two things that you don't want to do to monkeys if you're close to the cage and they can see you. You don't want to stare at them, because that's, I mean, and most zoo animals are used to being stared at, but if you stare at a monkey that's not used to it, the monkey's going to think, why am I being threatened? I better respond in kind. So you can stress out a monkey just by staring at it. The other thing you don't want to do is you don't want to yawn, because yawns are also a very common threat display among monkeys. And of course, what male monkeys will be doing is they will be showing off their big canine teeth. So, you know, when a human yawns, it's probably not that threatening because our canines are so small, but still the yawn itself can be an aggressive display directed at another primate.